Hey there, friend, and welcome aboard. Stu Black here, HomeStudioBasics.com, and today we will be reviewing the Philips SHP9500, or 100 if you're white. This baby is 32 ohm impedance, has a sensitivity of 101 decibels per milliwatt, and a frequency response of 12 Hz to 35,000 kHz. It has 50 millimeter drivers and is open back. I think I already said that. I'm a little bit rusty. So, first, comfort. These babies are really comfortable. They have an awkward type of fit though, so they don't really clamp like an HD600 or even a Sony MDR-V6. They kind of just sit on your head. They're not tight or loose, they're just kind of there. Maybe a little bit on the looser side, so watch this. There's really no pressure on these, but the great thing about them is that you can wear them pretty much indefinitely. I've never had to adjust them or take them off. Well, I'll adjust them from time to time, but it's not because they're uncomfortable. It's more just to get a better, I don't know, they have a tendency of kind of sliding forward sometimes a little bit. But other than that, these are probably some of the most comfortable headphones I've worn, alongside the Sennheiser HD558s, the HD600s, headphones like the Odyssey EL8, which I don't have on hand, but I've demoed, and the Oppo PM3s are really comfortable as well. I'm sure I'm missing a couple that top my list, but those are probably some of the most comfortable. But these, you're not going to have to take them off. You're not really going to have to adjust them. They don't clamp very hard. They're just a really, really pleasurable experience. Yeah, so how about build? Build quality is
magnificent
for such a cheap model. I got these for around $54. And this is the S version. There's really no difference between 9500 and 9500S, aside from the fact that these don't actually have a quarter inch adapter. Make sure you get the regular 9500 version, so you'll be able to plug them into pretty much anything you want. But build is outstanding. They're plastic, but it's a rugged, durable plastic. You got these metal adjustments here. They feel really solid. The padding is like a fabric, so it's not your typical faux leather, protein leather, or even genuine leather. The website ratings, they claim that the fabric will tear over time. I haven't had any issues with mine. I've only had them for about maybe a year. But yeah, the fabric it feels nice, as you can see. The headphones themselves, like, they rotate like that. The rotation, it feels solid, like it doesn't feel like too flimsy. It's got just enough weight to make it feel not hard to adjust, but not easy to adjust. Sits somewhere in the middle. They've got numbered adjustments on the side, which I thought was really cool. There's like a little window, if you can see. And it goes from 0 to 6. So if you're really anal about, or really particular about getting both sides exactly right, you can just go. I usually put mine on around 2. And you could just adjust them both so you know they're exactly the same length on both sides. Build is excellent. Comfort is excellent. They have a detachable cable. Pretty standard for most headphones nowadays. For me, it's just about the perfect length. Yeah, not too long, not too short. I really don't like long cables. I don't really like coiled cables either, so this is a nice happy medium. It's not too thick either, and it doesn't feel cheap. So again, for a $50 to $70 headphone, this is just remarkable. The fact that they took so much great care in this model is outstanding to me. A really cool feature is they've got the right-left indicators on the outside in huge block letters, so you won't be guessing. I like to be able to quickly, discern right, left, boom, boom, listening to music. And they've also got them on the inside, which they're a little bit more subtle for sure on the inside, but the headband padding it's really good. There's plenty of it. And for such a light headphone, you're not going to really need too much, but I like the fact that they have it an adequate amount up here. It's a unique design, and it kind of separates from the actual headband, if you can see. So the padding, it's not technically part of the headband, but it does attach around this area. So it's kind of definitely different. So how do they sound? The best part of the review is saved for last, because these babies are
remarkable.
the frequency response is, looking at this graph, it's just pretty much perfect and does reflect accurately the way they sound. The bass is, it's a little bit rolled off, but it's extremely tight, accurate, detailed, articulate. It's not bloated, it's not muddy. It's awesome. And yeah, I'm like a little bit overexcited because these headphones are just such a steal. The mid-range is very flat, very balanced. In fact, there's a slight rise between 1 and 2K. It's pretty much the perfect amount, and it renders the mid-range extremely accurate and detailed and revealing to a startling degree. I mean, again, for a $70 headphone and about $54 for the S version, I would almost call this a better buy than the HD600, and I don't say that lightly, like at all. I've had extensive listening time with the HD600 and this one, and I can tell you, if you're on a budget, this is just about as close as you'll get to a higher end headphone in the open back category, for sure. I mean, debate me on it all you want, but this is the truth. And the reason I say it's almost a better buy than the 600 is it doesn't have that. I think the 600s can get a little bit grating in the 3K area, which these have. Like I said, they do have a slight rise around 1 to 2K, but it's not like really harsh. You don't need an amp with these either, so that's another thing. With the 600s, you're gonna have to buy an amp. But the sound signatures are very similar between the two. I would say the 600s probably have a little bit more bass, but the treble on both is very similar. It's a little bit on the darker side, but still very crisp. These are extremely crisp in the treble, but not overly bright, which is something that I really appreciate. I can't say enough good things about these. The soundstage, I lent these out to Metal 571, and I was expecting a better review from him, but he's kind of snobby, so I really like him. He's a he's a really good reviewer, a very knowledgeable person, but he can be a little bit, he has his opinions, and so do I, but I expected him to like these a lot more than he did. He said that that a lot of people claim they have a large soundstage when they don't. I would agree and disagree. I would say the soundstage it's going to be better than your average headphone, of course, but he's right in the sense that it's not going to be like this, like really wide. I say it's about shoulder width. And that's something to keep in mind with all open backs. When people talk about soundstage, they kind of over exaggerate things a little bit. It's never going to be much greater than shoulder width unless you've got just the most ridiculous setup. Like, I've listened to some really high end gear, and even then the soundstage is not ridiculous. That doesn't even make sense. Soundstage on these it's good, but it's not gonna blow you away or anything. But the instrument separation is what really gives the illusion that the soundstage is bigger than it is, which is why I kind of disagree to some extent with him, because I find these to be incredibly detailed, incredibly articulate, with a very, very wide image. I was finding myself hearing stuff that I haven't heard with any other set. And I say that about a few different headphones, but there are certain headphones I can hear more than others, and then I'll go back to the other headphone and I'll hear something new. So it just goes back and forth, really. The sound is incredible. It's incredible. And the overall signature is very balanced. That's about it for the 9500. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Also, don't forget to like, dislike, comment, and subscribe to my growing channel. And I will talk with you guys soon.